happen.
I know, but old Bob here, I mean, he's average. You know, he's not much to look at. He's old. He's
Okay.
boring.
But that's what makes you shine. There's a contrast. It's why you work so well together, Rummy.
I
You have to
shine.
appreciate that.
I shine, Jim, Mr. Grindhead Jim. I shine, and I'm like a star.
Absolutely. Like there are other people of your race and time period that do not have a gig as good as yours, buddy.
Yeah, this is true. I tell you what, Mr. Grindhead Jim, you're a man full of wisdom and knowledge. I've gathered this already.
Well, I like to tell myself that anyway.
I'm Salacious Rum. Remember to make love, not war, because time does follow us. Yes, time does follow us. Yes, time does follow us. I'm a monkey lizard, and I love to make love that warm. And visit Star Wars, but that ain't a proper war. It is a proper war in your dimension, yes, Salacious. I'm a monkey lizard, and I love to make love that warm. And visit Star Wars, but that ain't a proper war. It is a proper war in your dimension, yes, Salacious. Don't forget what it takes to be a human being, but I'm not a human. I'm a monkey lizard. And don't forget, monkey lizards have feelings, because time does follow us.
Oh, Mr. Jim, Mr. Grindhead, the time it follows us, doesn't it, Mr. Grindhead?
It does, doesn't it? I mean, it's something that I think manifests more every day, and we talk about the nostalgia of these things that we surround ourselves with. And, you know, it is always a reminder of the constant grind of time, if you will. It's very poignant, very thoughtful, very mature of you.
Well, you know, Mr. Grindhead, you know, I think that's why we like to surround ourselves with our toys, don't we? To stay youthful and reminisce of the days when we were young and naked and prancing through the fields and, you know.
Emphasis on the naked, because you know what, you know, if you, in my day, you had school clothes that you wore to school, then you had to come home and change into what mom would call play clothes. But if there weren't any clean play clothes, you were just in the wind, buddy. Just me and the old Dark Side Destroyer running around naked in the backyard. You bet. It happened all the time.
I didn't like the school uniform over here in England, Mr. Grindhead Jim. They used to make us wear blazers and ties, and it was all itchy. I didn't like it. And I got kicked out of school because I refused to wear my tie. I used to put it on my head like a Rambo bandana.
See, and that's what's different about the UK versus the US. I was getting flack for wearing Simpsons t-shirts to school. And then not even a year later, suddenly like Cannibal Corpse became a thing. And then they had dead bodies on the shirts and stuff. And that was worse. But not so you'd really notice. They would treat a Bart Simpson shirt the same as they would a Cannibal Corpse or a death metal shirt. The US, the morality is all over the place. It's hilarious to me.
They like to homogenize us over here in England, Mr. Grindhead Jim, and make us all wear uniforms. Don't like it. Itchy though, itchy and scratchy.
Yeah, see, over here we get the itchy and scratchy uniforms because we volunteer to go into the military service, and those itch. They itch a lot in all the places you don't want them to itch, but you can't scratch because you're supposed to be, you know, right like that.
And we'll get into it in the questions, Mr. Grindhead Jim. But you were one of those United States Marines, weren't you, Mr. Grindhead Jim? Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service, Mr. Grindhead Jim.
Oh, of course, it was my pleasure, except for the itching, of course.
The itching's no good.
No, that's the worst part.
No good.
That's right.
I reckon I could be a Marine. Check this out. How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
You secure that shit, Hudson.
Totally. Welcome everybody to Monkey Lizard Hangout, the weekly Monday night interview show. I'm your host, Bob Rupp. And introducing first, he is a DJ, a producer, a toy and video game collector, an average jester. Some say he's an incredible lover. It's not some Bob. It's well known now. It's documented over many systems. I'm an incredible lover. Evolved. My pheromones have evolved. And
I can almost smell them.
Be careful there, Mr. Jim. They might affect you. You might get a sudden trembling feeling in your nether regions.
Yeah, something's happening. It's all vibrating now.
He is the director of the MoNKey-LiZaRD Register. It's Salacious Rum. That's right. Oh, I'm a star, but I've got good stuff. I'm looking forward to tonight. Who we got on, Bob? Who we got on? Our special guest needs little introduction. He is a well-known collector of toys and physical media such as movies, music, video games. An actor, musician, former US Marine, and YouTuber. Please give it up for the incredible Grindhead Jim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. Like, this is going to be a blast. Like, I love me a good monkey-lizard conversation. That's for sure.
That's right. Well, welcome. It's good to have you, Mr. Jim. Now, you've got a YouTube channel, but I've also been looking at your website today. There's the YouTube channel at Grindhead_Jim, and there's your website. And the links are in the description. And I'm sure the mods in the MoNKey-LiZaRD army will be showing these off tonight. So please give Mr. Jim, Mr. Grindhead Jim, some sub love. We like to spread the subs as much as the herpes and the other ailments that we have around in the army. So get subbing if you're not already subbed. I'm sure you are. But, now, Mr. Jim, before we get into the questions, it's a bit of a tradition that we welcome in the MoNKey-LiZaRD army. So if Bob come out, will you help greet them in? And we'll have a little look at your website in a minute. Bob, who we got? Tell you what, the chat is stacked tonight. There's a lot of people out to see Mr. Jim. We have Bazza the Dark Lycan. Bazza. He's from Scotland, he's made from girls. Mr. Gerard's here, Mr. Gerard. All the way from Dublin in Ireland.
Yeah, thanks for that follow earlier, Gerard. I appreciate that.
He's a good lad. And his lovely wife, Miriam. Here he is. Uncle Tess.
Tezzy.
See you, Uncle Tess. Good to see you. Here he is, the general of the Cucumber Squad from the MoNKey-LiZaRD army. Mr. Jumpy McClunky. Mr. Jumpy. He's got his own squadron in the army, the Cucumber Squad. Just don't ask what he does with the cucumbers.
Won't. Promise.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Connor with one end from Fuller's Figures in Ireland. There he is. Staying for
Thanks,
Jim.
Connor.
There you go. He's out for you. What's he saying? Check out Jim later on tonight. There you go. Look. Mr. Jim's stream later on today, 11 p.m. UK time. See, you got some love in the UK and Ireland, Mr. Jim.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I got a couple of them over there. Hope to get more of you lot because we have fun. We like fun. Yeah.
Especially when it involves your nether regions.
Yeah. Except when it itches.
Yeah, no itchiness. No itchiness. Rollerbots, the Rolo. It's an operation.
that profile picture never doesn't make me laugh.
No,
I love it.
Very good. In his diaper. Very good. Famous girl, Lady Catherine. One of my special lady friends from my harem. Good to see you. Bow. Oh, Greedo and a Speedo. It's so big. I have an effect on Greedo. It makes his jiggly bits go all tingly.
There's a salve for that. You just, get a prescription. Right. Yeah.
Told you, Greedo, you liberally apply those oils on your ailments. Told you that before.
Or conservatively, because we don't want to get political. Either way, you know.
He's cool. He's cool. He's cool. Good old Brett. He's cool. Katie, we're cool. Good to see you, Brett. The Gap's here. The Gap attack. He's back. He's going to attack. It's not a model school. I haven't done that for a while because Bob ain't been very well. But he's coming back on Saturday. He's coming back. Salacious makes speed. See? I told you. It happens. It happens.
It makes more than just your ego swell, I'm sure.
That's right. There we go. Laxy Braxy. The Phenom. We called him the Phenom.
Lax awesome. He later in the comments he mentioned how's the Bosk hanging out. Bosk is awesome. He's right to my left here, which is a weird turn of phrase, but a beautiful sculpt, love him to death.
You got to have a Bosk to your left, don't you? To be honest, Mr. Grindhead Jim.
You have to.
It's important to have a Bosk to hand. Yeah,
exactly.
It's important to have a Bosk to hand.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, people are coming out to see you tonight. It's the BOE. BOE. We call the BOE the GOAT. Do you know why?
I know what I think it stands for, but why don't you tell me?
Because he's the greatest of all time, because he's been on YouTube about 14 years. Plus, he's got a long dangly nutsack to go clickety-clackety, walks like a dog, like a goat. Not a dog.
Oh, a fellow old schooler. I've been doing it since 2006 myself.
Oh, you're a goat as well.
No.
2 goats.
Hey, look. If I'm a goat, I'm a fainting goat at best.
Have you got a long and dangly testes as well, Mr. Jim?
Depends upon the day and the temperature.
Yeah, I agree. One of them always dangles a little bit lower than the other. Mine's a lefty. Are you a lefty or a righty?
Probably a righty, now that I think about it.
He's a righty. He's a righty.
Real hard questions here on the Salacious Rum Show.
There you go. See, look, Connor's, there's your channel. Connor's doing some good modding. Look.
Thank you, mate.
Go and sub. Grindhead Jim. Mr. Brian's here as well. Mr. Brian. There we go.
That Botox didn't work out too well for Brian.
No.
Yeah,
welcome to the 19 viewers on Twitter. And to the, welcome. We're on there as well. We're over there. Good to see you. The X people. Yep. X marks the spot. What else we got, Bob? I'm just going through, making sure I don't miss anyone. Mr. Willem. Oh,
my man.
He's coming on soon in a few weeks' time. He's decided he's agreed to come on. So, sure we'll be doing some show. Sure we'll be doing some screaming that night.
I can't wait. That's going to be awesome.
Crazy, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
It's a P base, isn't it?
What's it got?
Yeah, it's a Fender P base, I think.
He knows his guitars. Nice. Look, his Uncle Mr. Grindhead knows his guitars.
Yeah.
Lack says olive oil is best. I agree.
For all things, just for anything. Yeah. You lose your keys, get out some olive oil. You're good.
Yeah. Or just, if you want to smother yourselves in, a brandy liquid and rub around, and do some.
You know what? Greeno might want to try that on the old genitalia in case there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that might work.
Especially if you don't want sticky ball. You never want one of your testes stuck to your legs.
Hell no. Absolutely not. That is the worst.
Trying to peel that sucker off is bad, isn't it, Jim?
Sure, it's awful. Especially if you're like in a store, like a chemist or something, and you're doing that weird walk where the one leg shakes out. You're trying to get that done. Not fun.
I agree. Here we are. Welcome. Gojatron. Oh, he's another good YouTuber. Look, Gojatron.
Hell yeah.
Where's fuzzy? We're both fuzzy. We both got a degree of fuzziness. We revel in our fuzziness.
Correct.
Having a bit of man hair was good. My monkey-lizard chest hair drives my harem wild with excitement. They say I've been told I'm the Sean Connery of the monkey lizard world.
I agree with it. You may not have the accent, but you've got the sex appeal. Plus that neck fur, you only have to get your blanket up about this far. The rest of us have to go all the way up here. It's practical and sexy.
Practical. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mr. B's here. Mr. B. Thank you for my message, Mr. B. I will reply to you. It's very nice of you to send me a message like that. Thank you, Mr. B. He's a good lad, Mr. B. Cares about us. Okay, he cares. He's a good lad. Right, are you ready for the first section, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
I was born ready, as they say. Let's go.
Bob, first section.
We want to get to know you, but not in a pervy way. We want to get to know you, but not in a dirty way. We want to get to know you, not in a pervy way. We want to get to know you, not in a dirty way.
That's right. This is where I get to ask you some questions to find out all about Mr. Grindhead Jim.
All right.
Now, I've been learning about how people greet each other in different places. In New Zealand, Darth Rock told me they do the nose rub. In Limerick, Mr. Brian Action Figures said they punch each other, eat a kebab, and then go horse riding. Please tell everyone whereabouts Mr. Grindhead Jim is from and how you greet each other in your place.
All right. So I currently live in Texas in America, but I'm not from here. I'm originally from the Northeast, a place called Pittsburgh. And there it's really blue collar, and there's it's a lot like Birmingham as far as like the culture. And metal has always been really prevalent there, and as is biking and so forth. So a lot of when you're just getting to see someone you haven't seen in a while, or you're just happy to see them, you'll lock arms like this. Where you're shaking their hand, you just lock the inside of there. You just pull them close, give them a hug. I don't know what that's called, but I've been doing that for almost 30 years at this point, and works well for me.
Let's name it the Pittsburgh Shuffle.
Sure.
Okay.
I've heard worse things come out of Pittsburgh for sure.
Now, me and Bob used to live in Sheffield in England, which we call over here the Steel City. Pittsburgh's like your Steel City, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Definitely a 1-to-1 for that. I guess Birmingham would be closer to Detroit because of the factories and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good people. Good working people. Working monkey lizards.
Yeah, Napalm Death's from Birmingham. So.
Right. Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, why do you grind your head, Mr. Grindhead Jim? Isn't it painful and bad for your head, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
Well, to be fair, I don't actually physically grind my head. I wouldn't want to hurt myself. But the grind head comes from something. Someone named me that in the mid 90s, and it's because of a musical genre called grindcore, which originated primarily in the UK from Birmingham. Guys like Napalm, a couple other bands. And back then, it was still a relatively new genre. I was really crazy for it then, as I am now. So people just call me the grindhead. Doesn't hurt at all. Now, granted, if I'm listening to the grind too much and I start banging my head, that begins to hurt. I try not to do that as I get older.
Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, when you're grinding, do you grind any other body parts other than your head, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
Only if this grindhead is involved. Yeah.
So, Mr. Grindhead Jim, would you recommend grinding? Because my friend Pretty Yummy on the Monkeys is as well up for doing some grinding.
I highly recommend grinding of all types for all people. You will live longer and be happier, I promise.
Now, we're from the Shires over here in England, which is just to the south of Birmingham. And did you know that Mr. Tolkien, when he was writing The Lords of the Rings, wrote the Shires in mind for Middle-earth, and Birmingham was like where Sauron was from, and the Satanic Mills, Did you know that about Birmingham?
I have heard tell of such things. My wife is more into Tolkien than I am. But I like what I like, and I'm always that guy that will watch the documentary that's 3 times as long as the film, and I want to know everything. And I have a very good friend, Order 42 show, who's a Tolkien freak. He's got all the different editions of the books and like this kind of color variant. Like he knows all the books. He's got like a whole bookshelf full of that stuff. So I know I've heard something along those lines from him. Because I do talk about certain areas of England a lot that I'm familiar with. And he'll be like, oh, well, this, that. I'm sure I've heard it before, but I always like being reminded of cool little historical facts like that. I love it.
How many bands from Birmingham? There are lots of metal bands from Birmingham. I wonder how
Black
many.
Sabbath.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath, Napalm Death, Godflesh, Head of David,
Zeppelin.
Sheer Terror. Zeppelin, I believe, is from Birmingham. Yeah.
Yeah, from the Black Country. Iron Maiden.
One could argue that's the nucleus from which all of it's born.
That's right. Motorhead, Iron Maiden.
Oh, wait, what? I don't know if Iron Maiden's from Birmingham. I thought they were from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Motorhead for sure. You know, I felt like that was an obvious one. You know.
Yeah. But there have been also lots of famous gyms. Got Mr. Grindhead Jim. We've got a Hacksaw Jim. We've got Slim Jim. Jim Kirk. Jim Davidson. Jimmy Bowen. Jimmy Greaves. Jimmy Tarbuck. Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Savile. Were you named after any famous gyms, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
No, my proper name is James, and they just had in mind that they had one version of the name if I was born a girl, and one if I was a boy. I was born a boy, it was James. But I went with Jim because it made more sense. It felt like a more grown-up name as opposed to James or Jamie or that nonsense. So no, I'm not named after any of them, but I've got a few favorite Jims myself. You've named a couple of them here. Jim Davis, who created Garfield and so on. Also, Jimmy Bauer from the band Down and I Hate God and a couple others. There's tons of great Jims out there, and I'm happy to be among them, at least in name.
Where's Garfield from? Is that in the United American States or in England?
Yeah. It's very similar to Heathcliff, the cat comic strip. So you have Garfield. That's the one that eats lasagna a lot, and
I remember him. I just can't remember where he was from, whether he was English or American.
American.
Like that. He's always sleepy, that Garfield.
Well, it's all the carb comas, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and the grinding, of course.
Right.
Yes,
sugar come down all the time. That's right. Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, you like collecting toys, don't you?
Of course.
Please tell us about your toy collection. What toy lines do you like to collect, Mr. Grindhead Jim? What are your favorite toy lines?
I collect a lot of different toy lines, some of which I originally set out to do. Some of people are like, no, you need this. You know, G.I. Joe / old Action Force was something that was kind of pushed on me rather politely. I just thought I was not going to be able to do it, but I love that stuff. I love Star Wars. I love the Superpowers collection, Marvel Legends, Motu Origins, the Modern Action Force, some of the DC Multiverse stuff. I'm a little bit all over the place. Like I have a whole shelf of just Ghostbusters stuff up there. Turtles, the list goes on, but those are the biggest ones for sure.
Now, when it comes to Action Force and G.I. Joe, would you go Cobra or Red Shadows?
Yes, I like them both. I grew up with Cobra. I very much like Cobra, but if someone came along, if it fell into my lap, I could get a nice package of some Red Shadows Action Force figures. I would proudly display them. I just haven't come across them yet.
They need to do that, don't they? I don't know why they can't do that, because the Red Shadows were like, I don't know, they could fit. Yeah, brilliant. They should bring them back. I don't know why they can't, but it'd be good.
It's a stupid rights issue, and we know legalities are what they are, and they make it too complicated, don't they, Rummy? It's too complex. They should just do it. They should just do it.
Too complicated, Mr. Jim. Why is it? Why is everything so complicated all the time?
Because I think people just want to feel important rather than just doing the things that feel good. They want to feel important. And so they make things complicated to feel more important, I guess, which I'm not a fan of. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Sorry. Now, are you an innie or are you an outie, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
Depending upon which part of the body. On one part of the body, I'm an outie. And when it comes to the belly button, I'm definitely an innie.
What about your toy collecting? Are you an in-boxer or an outie? I think you're an inner.
Oh, yeah, well. That is definitely right now. If you were to look at this, you would say it's kind of a mix, and it is, but that's not by design. I'm just displaying these so they look nice until I can have the time to get them all open. And even though it never looks like it, I'm opening something almost every day. I prefer loose because I like there to be action scenes. I like for characters to interact. And boxes are great. I love them. I keep really good ornate boxes. I keep card backs, but unless it's something really, 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 really special, I don't leave it in the package. I'd rather have it and be able to touch it and hold it and play with it.
Oh, you got it, innit? I think you're right. I think some of the packaging is beautiful, but there's nothing better than getting it out and having a little fiddle.
True story.
It's true. It's very true. It's very, very true.
It applies to many things in life, doesn't it, Rummy?
Certainly does. It could be a metaphor for life, that couldn't it? To be honest,
get it out and play with it.
Sometimes it's nice to look at. Sometimes you just gotta get it in hand and give it a touch.
Say it about my wife all the time.
Yeah, we've got to keep our special lady friends happy, haven't we, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
That's true. Otherwise, we're not happy.
Exactly. How does Mrs. Grindhead Jim feel about the toy collecting?
She's extremely supportive to the point where I'm trying to talk myself out of buying something, and she just buy it. She's one of those, and she started a collection of her own with Barbie and a couple other things. So she's right there with us. She's an
enabler.
Yes, very much.
Just like Bob, Bob here. He's an enabler. Yeah, I've got him. He started collecting Care Bears now. I've got him collecting. I've
got some Care Bears.
I like a good Care Bear. There's nothing wrong with a good Care Bear. And again.
Well, they're soft, aren't they? Like they're nice and soft, and they all have their own little stories, and then they have like nice little figures that you can get too. There's something very comforting about them. What was that?
We got the plastic ones, not the soft ones. But
I have plastic ones as well because I want those to be on the shelf. Yeah.
I like the lion one, and I like the Cloud Keeper.
See, I want to do some photography with Care Bears and like Thanos, because I think that if you had Care Bears during the Infinity War, that would have turned out a lot differently in both the comics and the films.
See, that's what we like to do as well. We like to mix them up and get them in scene, like Thanos versus The Care Bears in the Avengers could work, I reckon.
Oh, they would be the Avengers. That was it. Everyone else could retire. That Care Bear stare could just end everything. None of this. I am Iron Man. Spoilers. You have light and love come out of your chest, and that's it. Granted, in some countries, some municipalities, that having love come out of your chest onto another person is probably something that was prosecutable. But hey, it's a comic. We're not going to even think about the implications legally, are we?
We're not going to stop the bloody battle with Thanos to say, "Can I have your consent to spread my love on you?" I mean,
exactly. We're not going to have no stuffy coppers coming up, going like, "Hey, you can't do that,"
It's awkward. It's awkward.
Well, I'm doing it.
Especially if you're midstream, you've got to go, "Oh, excuse me, I know I'm spreading my love juices, but can I have your consent?"
Mid-stare. Yeah, mid-stare.
Fire my love rays on you.
Yes.
It's Thanos, for God's sake, it's Thanos. How do you normally go about your collecting, Mr. Grindhead Jim? Do you how do you go to toy shows or an Evil Bear, or do you go? You have garage sales in the United States. Oh, we don't have those. How do you?
A little bit of all of that. I've been lucky enough that I get to go to shows and conventions at least twice a year, bigger shows. So I do tend to pick up stuff from that. I do collect a lot of modern. So a lot of that will come from your online retailer, stuff like that. But some eBay, of course, I think everyone has to dabble with some of that. But the majority of the things that are really special to me tend to come from other folks doing the work and helping me find things or doing trade sales or just gifts. The community is extremely supportive, and I wouldn't have nearly as much stuff or wouldn't be as interested in pursuing as many diverse things if it wasn't for the community. And I love everyone that's been helpful and supportive along that line.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Jim. There's people like this man here, Mr. Geekstrong, who has got a very extensive and wide collection, and you just watch his room tours, and you go, "Oh, I want a Jaws Laserdisc from 1979 too," and then you start collecting Jaws stuff. You know, it's kind of that's the way it goes, isn't it? You kind of get inspired to get stuff.
It's funny you mentioned Jaws. Just over the weekend, the wife and I started watching Jaws just as comfort because we always do. She's like, "You don't know what else to watch. You put on the original Jaws," and she's right. But the other night, I was feeling a bit anxious and I wanted something familiar. So I put on Jaws 3, which is arguably one of the worst major motion pictures ever made. Yeah. But it's fun. And we were watching it. I'm like, I don't like Jaws stuff. So I think I'm going to start looking for some sharks and some kind of Jaws something or another because that is a big part of my life.
Everyone needs some Jaws stuff. Everyone needs a shark or two in their collection already.
That's right.
Excuse me. Sorry, Mr.
Mr. Grindhead. Goodness.
We've been joined by a few people I want to say hello to. We've got Mr. Podracing Palpatine's here. Steel Pumps. And we've got Mr. Boba Hicks as well. Mr. Boba Hicks.
Hey, one of my favorites.
And obviously Dino. We call him Geekstrong. I call him Porno Rocky.
I know Geekstrong. Geekstrong's good people.
There you go. You've had your fill now, Dino.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stretch that one out after the show.
Mr. Grindhead, I'm always partial to stretching one out after the show. So, if you want some company, we could stretch one out together. Just give me the nod.
As long as it's okay if I turn the lights off first.
So I think it's always better in the dark, Mr. Jim, to be honest.
Exactly. Yes. But self-conscious, aren't you?
No, it's just a bit of a letdown, isn't it? Often it can be a bit of a letdown.
It's all, I mean, it's all about proper expectations, isn't it?
We can get missold stuff there sometimes, can't we? Like, you have a special lady friend, and you're like, "Oh, this looks good," and then a bit later on, it sort of changes shape. I found can happen.
That's just biological geometry. That's all. It happens to everyone. It's totally normal, and it's okay. These are valid feelings.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Now, this is quite a common question, but are there any toy grails, things that you haven't got in your collection that you really want to get?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. In the past, I've said that big toy grails would be a Voyager scale Unicron, which I finally found a knockoff one that is the right color scheme and it's not secondhand market. I pre-ordered it and it should be here in a couple months. So I don't know if that counts because I'm already getting to where I'm procuring that. I would say that
you're a HasLab fan, Mr. Jim. You're a HasLab fan. Did you get did you get involved in any of that?
No, I started collecting after that Unicron went up. I'm glad that I didn't get it because friends of mine got it and they're like, eh. So the third party ones became more desirable because they were more accurate and more sturdy. Sure. But as far as Grails, the longer you collect, the fewer of those become a thing. And then there's stuff now that as I'm getting closer to hitting all of those toys that I said I really wanted from the beginning, and I'm already collecting lines that I didn't think I would take the time to do. So like Star Wars, I said I would love to get a bunch of Star Wars, but I don't think I can do it because I was worried about pricing and all the drama that goes with that. But you look behind me, I've got a bunch of Star Wars now. And so this year, something I'm really working towards is getting an AT walker, probably a Power of the Force. I don't need to have an original or anything, but then that leads to probably the next true Grail piece that I want would be an Imperial shuttle. That's one that really, I've always loved that design. I love the sounds it makes. I love everything about what that shuttle represents. That's a big one for me.
That's right. Now, how are you going to display it though? Is it going to be in the Ewok display, or is it going to be in the Star Destroyer bay with all the troopers?
Well, when I get the walker, I plan to have like a little Empire Strikes Back display, and then a Return of the Jedi display, and the walker in between the two in the back.
Good plan.
And then I feel like the shuttle would be good right in front of the walker. But then again, by the time this all happens, we're looking at buying a house this year, and we already have planned to get a very large space for toys. So I might be one of those fools that start getting weird with floating shelves and fishing line and everything. We don't know.
I think your special lady friend, Mrs. Grindhead's a keeper.
She definitely is. Yeah, she'll look at a house and then go. When we first started looking, I'd see something I thought was a really cute house, had a nice yard. She goes, "But where are you going to put your toys?" Sure. So we had to if she did that more than once. So I said, number one, yes, she's a keeper, and two, we have to think about that. So we started looking at houses that had certain types of layouts and garages and things like that. So I'm very lucky that she is so supportive of everything.
That's good. Welcome to Vadertron. Vadertron's Toy Chest. Another good channel. And also
I love that name.
Excelsior's Domain. Another good channel. Welcome, boys. Both from England. Both Englanders from the Mother England. Both the mothership. Welcome. Now, I do know you collect other things. Can you please tell people what other things you like to collect? Don't need to mention.
Well, I don't collect STDs, although conduct in my younger life, I probably should have. I got lucky there, so I don't have that collection, thank goodness. But I also collect, it feels weird to say this out loud, but it's been brought to my attention that I might as well be considered a black t-shirt collector, specifically band and pop culture t-shirts. We have this walk-in closet in our bedroom, and it's about 2.5 meters deep. And I have this whole right side, she has a left. My entire right side is 2 rows of black t-shirts. That whole thing. And there's like 1 or 2 blue shirts, 1 or 2 gray shirts. Most of them are metal or whatever, but that's one of them. I also have almost every CD I've ever bought. I have a fair amount of vinyl for music, lots of physical media for films.
Nice.
I even keep some film cells, like a little piece of film that you could look through and see. Video games from the earliest stuff all the way up to today. A little bit of everything. Anything pop culture, any kind of entertainment that's touched my life, I like to represent it on my walls, my shelves. I love a good poster or a piece of art. Coffee mugs, like I have a bunch of like hero-themed coffee mugs and so forth. You know, I like it all, man. I like it all.
You need one of those, do you remember, like, you used to get your I don't know if it was the same in Americas, but in the shops over here, they used to have those poster display things where you have the posters.
Yes. About to stand up like this tall, and they'd be in the roll, and you just pull them out. Oh, I love those. Yeah.
And then they'd have the black T-shirts in bags, the band T-shirts all next to the posters, and you used to pick your T-shirt and then get the right size. They never used to fit me though, Mr. Grindhead Jim.
Well, you can get some of those now. There are some places you can get stuff like that where they'll make it, in monkey lizard size now. You can get anything if you look for it.
Yeah, it's true. Have you ever considered adopting a monkey lizard, Mr. Grindhead Jim? And if so, are your inoculations all up to date?
My inoculations are all up to date, and I'm willing to bet that if I asked Mrs. Grindhead if we could adopt a monkey lizard, she would be all over it. She would love it. She loves animals. I love animals, and part of the reason we're getting a larger place is to have more fuzzies and furries and animals. So I'll never say never. Never say never.
Very good, very good. You got to have your wits about your mind, you know.
Try to.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I feel like the monkey lizard signature laugh, that might get on my nerves a little bit.
Oh.
But if it's funny and they're laughing, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't want to wake up, stub my toe, and then get laughed at. That might be a problem.
Well, they might attempt to use chloroform on you and then have it off with Mrs. Grindhead Jim, so you've got to be wary about that. That could happen.
She can defend herself.
It could happen. What could happen? Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, tell us about your YouTube channel. Why did you start it? Is it because you heard about all the orgies I have on mine? And also, tell everyone what you do on your channel, Mr. Grindhead Jim.
Well, just for fun, YouTube's not my only platform. I've done live streaming on Twitch for a long time. And the official hashtag of that community is hashtag things said at an orgy. So maybe there was some crossing of the universes there that were kind of galactic siblings in some way. I don't know. But I first started doing YouTube in 2006. I have a separate channel that's like music stuff that a lot of drumming, educational stuff and live stuff and whatnot. And then I moved into doing more film and video game, mostly film reviews. But those channels kind of went by the wayside because of copyrights and all this crap you have to deal with now. And in 2013, I decided to start something fresh. I wanted to base it on video gaming and pop culture, and it really focused on video games at first because that's where the views were coming from. And then about 3-4 years ago, I was like, I need to change up what I'm doing. And it just so kind of coincided with deciding that toys were something I wanted to get back into. And the response has been really good. And I know that I'm not for everyone. Like, I'm very opinionated. I have some blue humor. So I realize I'm not for everybody. I kind of have that punk kind of metal vibe going on, even if I'm not bombarding people with it. But I like to make sure that everyone feels welcome. Everyone feels like they have a say, and that the art of the debate is not lost. We don't have to agree to respect each other. And I found that more prevalent in the toy community than anything else I've been involved in. So I've kept the channel mainly toy and collecting focus for the last 3.5 years. And I couldn't be happier about it. But, everything that I do has been a culmination of skills I've learned from different types of channels, stuff I do for work, and something I want to have put out there into the ether. So I like to think that we're doing okay. But I'm very happy with it. I love doing it. And the best part about it is to get to come on other channels like this and get to talk about things that we love, and I don't have to carry the whole damn show. Sometimes that bothers me when you do things solo.
Can you hear me okay, Jim?
Yeah.
For some
Absolutely.
reason, our camera there was a funny noise and the camera has just died. It's one of these inbuilt ones today. So we may have to carry on the show. I'm just trying to reset the camera, but it's one of these inbuilt ones. It doesn't seem to...
Have you tried in the settings selecting a different camera source and then going back?
I have, yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't matter. We can do it. You're only missing... Everyone knows what Salacious looks like, so we can carry on without...
Fair enough.
Oh, there we go.
Aha!
You can't get me off camera.
Can't keep a good monkey lizard down. All
I'm
right.
the star, Jim. I'm the star. You don't want me off. I mean, you certainly don't want Bob on. He's average in pretty much everywhere. So.
Well,
now,
you're shiny and furry, and I love you.
Oh, Mr. Jim, I love you too. Oh, my new friend, Mr. Grindhead Jim. My new friend. Now, are there any other YouTube channels that you admire and look up to, and And
oh, geez.
Who are your
Yeah,
favorites?
there's a lot. Oddly enough, a lot of the ones that I like that I think are doing some of the best work are ones that sort of came out of my community, because I like to encourage people to express themselves. And Largo's Lair, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures, all are doing great stuff and get a lot of love, but I think deserve more.
Yeah.
I think they work harder and more consistently than I do, and they deserve all the attention they get. Obviously, you've got some of the OG channels like Pixel Dan, Retro Blasting, Analog Toys, and so forth, Toy Polloi. There's a ton of great stuff out there. And then there's other channels that like I find similar to me in that they do what they do and don't apologize for it, and just this is what this is, and it's a fun place. You know what you're going to get, and it's always a good time. Like this channel, Universal Toy Collector,
Mr. Stu.
And I'm trying to think of Stu. I love Stu to death. Stu and Georgie are the best. And there's so many other ones.
Did you know that Georgie and I had a little bit of let's just say we greeted each other at Star Wars Celebration in quite an affectionate way.
I've heard such tales of such things.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true. It's very true. Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, I heard you did some acting like me. Where can we see your acting skills, Mr. Grindhead Jim?
Well, I've been in a couple movies, but the one that I am most proud of and the most accessible is called Adventures in Game Chasing.
Yeah.
And you can get it for free on the service Tubi. It's available for rent on Amazon Prime. And the Blu-rays you can actually still order through the website for them. It's just thegamechasers.com. Did that a few years back, and people are still telling me, that they've just seen it and how much they like it. It's very much like a cross between an old John Hughes kind of coming of age 80s comedy plus the raunchy 90s road trip. It's a lot of fun. It's PG-13. It's good for the kids, but you can, have a drink, have a laugh. I heartily recommend it. Adventures in Game Chasing over on Tubi, among other places. That's what I'm most proud of.
Is that with the Game Chasers, yeah?
Yes, sir.
They're a proper good show. Proper good.
Yeah, and good friends of mine. They are the reason I live in the area of Texas that I do.
No way.
It was during the crowdfunding for that movie that we became closer friends, and they said, you really need to move up here. I did. And less than 3 weeks later, I was on the set of the film in a big supporting role of the film. And I'm very grateful to those guys, because everything that's come after that has been really, and I'm not exaggerating, it's been wish fulfillment from day one. So the last 5 years have been really special.
Go and check out the Game Chasers if you haven't, and go and check out Jim on the Game Chasers movie, because it's amazing. It's really good. On Tubi. Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, can we talk about Star Wars for a minute?
Sure.
In your opinion, what is the best episode in the hit documentary series Star Wars? And why is it most likely to be Return of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi for me would be a close second. My first has to be Empire Strikes Back. I know it's a popular answer, but it's the one that I really enjoyed the most as a kid. I also like it because you have that linkage to the first and the third of the original trilogy. So you don't have a definitive, you have to wait to establish characters, nor do you have to know it's coming to an end. So I like to watch Empire because it's constantly... It's like if you watch it on repeat, Star Wars never ends, and it has some of the best lines and some of the best set pieces. But I love Return of the Jedi, especially the first act.
Plus, Leia does wear those white like snow pants, doesn't she? In the
yeah, she's nice and padded for all the grinding. I like it.
Padded. She's got nice padded white snow pants. I'd like some padded white snow pants. To be honest, I think they look quite comfortable. And Yeah.
I'd love to see you in an outfit like that, Remy. I think that would be great.
I think it'd be good. I think I'd suit me. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Especially with a cute little ruffle for the hood, yeah?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Mr. Grindhead Jim, who's your favorite human and alien characters in Star Wars?
I know this question was coming, and it was hard for me to kind of decide what would work, but alien character, I've got to go with Bosk. I got to go with Bosk because
he's a lizard. He's a lizard.
Yes, exactly. It's because he's a lizard. He reminds me of dinosaurs and Godzilla, one of my favorite things in the world. Right? I know you mentioned God. It was like, what do you collect? I collect a lot of Godzilla stuff, and I just don't mention it because I think people just know. But Bosk is right there. I just liked his demeanor, and I would love to see, like, you know, if you're going to do Disney Plus, if you have to have all these miniseries, give me one about the origin of Bosk. Give me one about what he was doing trying to find Han Solo. That would be amazing. As for a human character, that's tough. Honestly, I got to go with Darth Vader. Have to.
Oh, Vader.
Have to. Because there's a ton of great characters out there, but I never identified with one more than that. When I was a kid, I got a Darth Vader costume, one of those old Ben Cooper, just a plastic, you know, with the vinyl and all that crap. Kept it for like 3 years. And anytime company came over, I'd put it on and just walk around the house in a head-to-toe Darth Vader outfit with a lightsaber and everything. And then I had to start high school, and they took it away from me. But, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit there, but Darth Vader was a huge part of my childhood, and looking back on the story now, I identify with the character in a lot of different ways. Just perfectly performed and written character. Just love that guy.
Now, Mr. Grindhead Jim, how do you like your blue milk? Do you like it bottled, like Aunt Beru serves it up? Or do you prefer to go straight from the teat like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi?
So for me, I'm going to go with Aunt Beru, and only because I prefer milk to be chilled. I've never been a warm milk person. If it came out of the teat cold, I'd be a teat guy.
Yeah, no, it's a bit warm and it can be a bit lumpy as well. And you run the risk of having the old teat hair as well. Just like, sneaky.
Hey, that's the risk you take. Okay, it's cost, risk, benefit analysis. You know, you have to go with what works. Sometimes it's like, look, if I have to take a few lumps in the face to get good milk, maybe that's a risk I have to take.
This is true. This is true. This is true. What about if the milk came from Yana Del Gargan, Jabba's dancer with the 9 boobies? Which boobie would you go for? Would you go for top left, top middle, top right, middle left, middle right, bottom left, bottom middle, or bottom right?
Yes. I say get some assistance and just go all at once. One big milk stream from all of them. That's what should be done.
And at the motorboat.
Oh yeah, well that comes after, because now my face is all wet and it just makes it much easier.
No, right answer.
Everything has a purpose for me. Everything has a purpose.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Right. Final question then. Final question. If you had to grab 3 items to save from your collection because a group of mercenary alien sex addicts were raiding your house because they wanted to probe you, what would you take and why?
Oh man. First of all, thank you to those aliens for the interest. I don't get that kind of attention very often from the outside world, so it's nice to be wanted. But if I had to pick just 3 things from the collection, and because I have multiple collections, it's like, okay, that's even harder. So from toys, it would have to be my Hall of Justice, because from Superpowers collection, that's a big connection to my parents. Means a lot. Plus, I could probably shove a few figures in there and no one would notice. From my CDs, my music collection, it would probably be Well, it would have to be the original press. So I have a promotional copy of the vinyl for the Transformers the movie soundtrack, which the CDs most of those I can replace or I have them digitally, but to have that vinyl is really special. That movie means a lot to me. And then for like a film, shit, it would probably have to be. I have a sealed VHS 3-pack of Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. And a friend of mine who deals in VHS wholesale was like, I know how much you like Lethal Weapon. And he just gave it to me sealed. Such a special gift. Because everything else has varying degrees of rarity and cost, and insurance will cover replacement costs in these situations probably. I mean, I know they may not have a alien probe clause, but I could probably get them to honor it anyway. So I'll take those VHSs because they are sealed. And then how often do you see that?
Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Right, you survived the first section, Mr. Grindhead Jim. Are you ready for the second section?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Show us and tell us, don't show your jiggly bits. Show us and tell us, but don't show your jiggly bits. Show us and tell us, don't show your jiggly bits. Show us and tell us, but don't show your jiggly bits. Show us, tell us, but don't show your jiggly bits. Show us, tell us, but don't show your jiggly bits.
So in this section, Mr. Grindhead Jim, get to show off something from your collection and tell us all about it.
All right. So this is a Marvel Legends Spider-Man as His Amazing Friends set. When I first got into collecting Marvel Legends, I made it a point to get a good Iceman, a Firestar, and a good Spider-Man. And then this set comes out, and I said, I still have to have this just because it's the set. Honestly, it's going to sound ridiculous, but just having this cardboard, this image, was worth it. I have not opened this set yet because I don't need to. But there will be a time, probably when we move, where I'll open this up and display the 3 figures in front of it in like a living room or some formal space. Because I grew up on the old animation. I love the 81 Spider-Man stuff. I loved the Amazing Friends cartoon as well. I have a lot of really fond memories. And for Marvel to have put this out, and this is the first time they've done it with Hasbro anyway, there was no way I was not going to get this. This is really special to me.
That was my Spider-Man as well, Mr. Jim, Amazing Friends, with Firestar. It wasn't in the comics, but good character.
Right. Created also, for the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Spider-Woman as well. That was a good show as well at the same time, wasn't it? You know.
Yes, and I got the Super Skrull and the Skrull Queen 2-pack because you could swap the heads and get a Spider-Woman out of it. That's the only reason I got. Well, I like the Skrull too, but it was like, well, that justifies the price. I get a Super Skrull and I get a Spider-Woman done and dusted. Let's go. I love that. Yes, Nicholas Hammond, 100%. For Christmas, my wife got me this pillow, which depicts him, you know, that version of Spider-Man, and says Vintage 77. I love that pillow. I'm probably going to get more of them. I also have recorded off of television all of the live action Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man stuff I recorded over a weekend. They did a special in the late 80s, early 90s over on a network here called USA. And I still have the tapes. They still function. They're awesome. That was my first Spider-Man love, that and the Electric Company. So don't get it twisted. I want them to do a Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. In fact, I was going to get the Japanese one because it's very similar.
Yeah.
I've been toying with the idea of buying a custom Nicholas Hammond head. I just can't paint worth a shit. So that's the only reason I haven't done that. But yeah, all of that late 70s, early 80s stuff was really in my purvey.
Very good, very good, very good. And the Marvel Secret Wars toys, I remember those. I remember seeing them in the catalog and going, "Oh, what the Doom roller, the Doom? What's that?" I didn't understand.
Yeah, I loved all that stuff. I had Captain America, Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus, Spider-Man, at least 2 other figures that elude me right now. But the one thing about those figures that always made me kind of disappointed was like, why are they all standing like they've just sprayed themselves with some kind of gold bond or jock blaster? They're like all the time, and what's with the shields?
I know,
None of them
like
need shields.
I know, but I like the shields. It was with the hologram era, and we all had the holograms. I know
that lenticular. It's fun.
Yeah, I know the lenticulars. Yeah, they're daft. They are daft,
but they're fun.
They're fun. Now we're running slightly over, but have you got time for one more segment? Just one more little segment. Right,
absolutely.
One last segment, Mr. G.
Star Wars roleplay. Star Wars roleplay. I play, you play. Star Wars roleplay. Star Wars roleplay. Star Wars roleplay. Yeah.
I was hoping we had time for this.
We gotta do it. Hey, Luna Girl. Hey, Luna Girl. In this segment, Mr. Grindhead Jim, you get to pick any scene from the hit documentary series Star Wars. Once you have picked the scene, you and I will select characters from said scene. Then, using the medium of physical theatre, we will reenact the scene. However, we don't like the script. We're going to chuck it out. And as Anakin said, we're going to make it the way we want it to be.
Yeah, not as much sand.
No sand.
That's right.
It's so precious.
The scene I would like to do is Darth Vader's arrival on the Death Star 2 at the beginning of Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
And I would like to play Darth Vader if that's okay with you.
You can. I'll have to be the Admiral. I can't remember his name. Jared. Yeah, he greets him, and there's a big good cutscene out later on. Okay, all right, okay. This is the door opening. Lord Vader, you're early. We're behind schedule, Lord Vader, because my men, frankly, they're a bit of a letdown. They keep playing volleyball in the hangar.
Well, first of all, don't tell me you don't have the Google Calendar synced properly, because I've talked to tech support 3 times. And as far as your men, just get an Indeed account. We'll pay for it, for Christ's sake. Just get it done, will you?
But Lord Vader, we don't like Google. We're more Microsoft over here. We've always been pro Office 365. Why would we have Google calendars synced? Microsoft's way better.
Did you not get the memo?
No.
I sent not 6 months ago.
When did we convert to Google? We've been Microsoft on the Death Star for ages. We can't just suddenly switch over to Google.
Yeah,
Lord
the
Vader.
Death Star 1. The Death Star 1. Yes.
No one said, Lord Vader, I know you're a Sith and everything.
Why do you think the first one blew up, Jared? It's because it was Microsoft. They don't call it Internet Exploder for nothing.
Don't give me Microsoft.
That exhaust port. Aha! Gates masterminded the whole thing.
Look, I know
that's
you're a
why
bit
we trust. Yeah, but that's why we trust the other multinational corporation called Google, and everything's going to be fine this time. Just follow instructions.
You're going too far to the dark side there, Lord Vader, with that Google nonsense. What the hell? I mean, I know you're a bit
siffy. Dark side, you trying to make it about race or something?
Look, don't get all racialism. We support inclusivism over here. We've been working hard. We've been playing beach volleyball, and we've been having man fun and everything. So don't throw that at us. We're just trying to get the Death Star operational.
Can't even wait till I arrive to have the man fun.
Scene over.
Can't even wait.
I reckon that was one of the best ones we've had. So I don't think we've ever had Lord Vader discussing operating systems before. So that was good.
Well, and it was also there was like a little underlying message of that because they're all bad.
Yeah.
All these multinational corporations, they're all out to get you. But
That
we all
one could've-
think one's better than the other. You know.
That one could have gone on and on. We could have let that go, but we've got to put to an end. It's been a brilliant stream, and we are at the end of the show. So I want to give a massive, massive thank you to our special guest, Grindhead Jim. You've been an absolute star. It's been really great getting to know you.
I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun for me as well, and we got to have you on the show sometime as well because we deserve to spread the MoNKey-LiZaRD love anywhere you can.
We've got to do it. I'd love to come on, and we're a massive fan, a big supporter of yours. Please go and sub to Grindhead Jim. And we were going to show your website and talk about it, but Bob had computer problems. But go and check out your website as well, grindheadjim.com. And you can follow his Patreon from there and get to his other blogs and all sorts. So he's got it all going on in the Grindhead Jim world. Go and get involved.
We appreciate all of you. And thanks to you all for showing up and being so accepting of this beautiful MoNKey-LiZaRD friend of mine. And we hope to see you over at the Grindhead Jim stream at TGL some other time.
The MoNKey-LiZaRD Army have been out in force tonight supporting you. So absolutely brilliant. Massive. Oh, Geekstrong, thank you so much. He wants beach volleyball. Oh, my God. I haven't been doing the super chat videos in a while, but I've got to give him what he wants. So if you could I'll got to throw this out. This has been a long. We used to do these. I haven't done them in ages, but he's asked for.
Yeah, you used to do the video for the chat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
By all means.
Here we go.
Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat.
Hey, I don't think that this particular episode gets a better ending than that because that's very appropriate as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. Anything going on? Please remind people. Anything going on? There's a show tonight. Let people know. If there's anything else going on, and where can they find you?
We have the show every Monday, the same time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern time, which I believe is 11 p.m. In the UK.
Yeah.
Usually runs about an hour and a half tops. Members from both Patreon and YouTube get to be part of the show every week. We have a roundtable discussion. And I do have a couple ongoing video series that I need to get back to, talking about pop culture and how nostalgia is warping our minds and not accepting things that are new and exciting, potentially anyway. So we hope you'll come check it out and let us know what you like.
Brilliant. Next week, we have the Real Toy Dude, so come and check out, come and spend some time with Salacious and Adam. He's a really awesome guy, supportive guy in the community. Massive thank you to the MoNKey-LiZaRD Army, #MLA. You guys have been awesome. Please hit the like button, leave us a friendly comment, subscribe to the channels, turn on the notifications. Remember, everybody, MoNKey-LiZaRDs are for life. Oh, they grind at you.
Rummy, you are correct.
Not for spit roasting. Goodbye. Bob, play the video.
I'm Salacious Rum. Remember to make love, not war, because time does follow us. Yes, time does follow us. Yes, time does follow us. I'm a MoNKey-LiZaRD, I'm a MoNKey-LiZaRD, and I love to make love that warm. And this is Star Wars, but that ain't a proper war. It is a proper war in your dimension, yes, Salacious. I'm a MoNKey-LiZaRD, I'm a MoNKey-LiZaRd, and I love to make love that warm. And this is Star Wars, but that ain't a proper war. It is a proper war in your dimension, yes, Salacious. Don't forget what it takes to be a